Dan, the voice behind Exploring with Fighters, is known for his bold adventures into places steeped in history, mystery, and alleged paranormal activity. Alongside his friend Flex, he set out for an overnight investigation in one of England's most infamous locations, the Screaming Woods. Locals warn people not to enter after dark, claiming the forest is cursed by restless spirits. Some even post signs and block paths to keep curious explorers away. But that only made Dan and Flex more determined to find out the truth for themselves.
Okay, so we're at the Screaming Forest right now. This place is apparently the most haunted forest in the UK. I've been here once before with the overnight crew and stuff kicked off. We are camping here. We're camping overnight, but there's only me and Flex. Now, we do have a spare tent and sleeping bag inside the roof box. Catch me there, you already know. But right now, we're just packing up. We have a ton of stuff, and that's why we need that extra person as well, because look at state. I've got so much firewood. I've got like 4 bags and sleeping bags and tents, and we might take a quilt because it is going to be -degrees tonight. So but yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. It looks like it might have just genuinely fallen. Oh no, it's not. Nope, it's been cut. It's been cut purposely to destroy this entrance. They don't want people going inside of the woods for some reason. So you ready for this?
I was ready. I've got the cable ties.
Oh, you got the cable ties. Honestly, I don't know how we're going to carry all this, but it's that wood, it's heavy as hell.
Their preparation for the night was extensive. They packed heavy firewood, tents, sleeping bags, and a full range of paranormal investigation gear, from REM pods and motion-activated cat balls to CCTV cameras mounted high in the trees. Even reaching the forest wasn't easy. They discovered the entrance had been deliberately obstructed, as if someone didn't want anyone going in. Still, they pushed forward, setting up camp deep within the woods. Once darkness fell, the forest revealed its true nature. It began with distant screams, faint at first, then clearer. The sound echoed through the trees, sharp and human-like.
Tesco's bags are invincible. I'm trying to break it.
If that was an answer to the bag, it would snap.
I know. The hell?
Right, so while I'm putting this up, I will tell you, we might not, well we might do, we might venture off a little bit, but we're going to conduct most of the night from the tent. I'm going to place CCTV cameras on the trees. I'm going to screw them to the trees. I'm also going to put REM pods and other devices around the tents. I'm going to set up a basically perimeter of REM pods. I think I have 3 REM pods. So I'm going to set them up in a triangle formation and other devices as well.
Almighty screams. Now it could be just kids messing around, but we still are quite early. It's not even 10 o'clock yet, so I'm assuming that's what it is.
Hopefully. If it isn't, then
Bro, it could just be kids messing around, but there's still screaming coming from in the woods.
Yeah.
At first, they assumed it was a prank, maybe someone trying to scare them off. But as the night went on, the screams changed, turning into deep, mournful wails that seemed to come from different directions. Then their equipment began to react. The REM pods flashed. The cat balls lit up and rolled as if something unseen was brushing past them. The devices formed a perimeter around their camp, and it soon became clear that something was moving within it.
Try to keep an eye on it. We keep hearing a man wailing. But
yeah,
one there.
There.
One there. Oh no, right, the REM pod just went off a bit then. And that, oh, there we go. And the cat ball's going off. Won't stop.
Attempting to communicate, Dan and Flex began asking questions. "Are you male?" they asked. The REM pod instantly activated. "Did you die here? Were you found hanging?" At the last question, the device's light glowed bright red, its highest reading. Dan immediately recalled the local legend of a school teacher found hanging in these woods centuries ago. When they asked if it was the teacher's spirit, the pod flashed again, an apparent confirmation. The interaction grew even stranger. When asked to stop the cat ball from flashing, it did. Instantly. When asked if it needed help or was trapped, the devices pulsed with intensity. It was as if the entity was responding intelligently, communicating through the modern technology meant to detect it. Intrigued and unnerved, Dan and Flex decided to take things a step further.
Did you die in these woods?
Died in the woods. The atmosphere's changed here.
Alright then, I've got a question for you that'll amp this up a bit. Were you found in a tree, hanging? Oh.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh, it's right on it, bro. That's right on it. That's red. Flashing red. It's very rare it does that.
What's that mean?
It means it's like literally on it. Holy shit.
Were you a teacher?
A teacher?
Yeah, I'll tell you in a minute why I've said that. Were you a... Oh.
It's on it again. Whatever you're doing, you're causing a reaction here. Because, what do you mean a teacher?
Right, so I happen to know that I'm pretty sure there's 11 or 13 ghosts
Right.
in this village, right? And one of them in Screaming Woods was a school teacher, a local school teacher, and he was found one day while he was meant to be in school. He was found in the forest, hung by the pupils that he taught at the school.
Really?
So if that's you that's here, could you set that off again? I don't mean any harm. We're just interested to find out if you are still here.
Oh, there we go. Bro, you can see the way it did it. It like literally grabbed it because it went through all the colours and then grabbed it.
Oh.
Whoa, it's getting closer.
Can you stop that, please? Stop.
Well, it stopped the cat ball. Someone else here. Or if you need help, or... I mean, do you need help? Oh shit. Oh, bro. It flicked for all of them.
It's gone.
Why would it tell us that it needs help and then leave?
It understands what they are, and it is using them to respond to us.
Which is weird if you think about it, because don't forget, if this truly was that teacher and he died in the 1800s, how the hell would he know what they are?
Maybe, because remember where we are, and remember how many people come and try and do this.
Leaving their campsite behind, they ventured deeper into the dense forest with only night vision and flashlights. The temperature dropped sharply. They felt surrounded, as if eyes were watching from every direction. Whispers and echoes followed them, but no visible figure appeared. Eventually, feeling the tension rise, they made their way back to camp. Even as they tried to sleep, the forest refused to rest. Faint wails and muffled voices carried through the night, too distant to understand, yet too distinct to ignore.
So, and the only thing that we're going to have a torch with us. Feels like we've been watched from numerous angles. Yeah.
Yeah, just the way it's laid out. It's like, I don't know, it is really cold.
Very dense.
Yeah. It just feels different.
It's like an eerie silence, but knowing something is here.
But there is an echo.
There's a horribly cold breeze coming from here. I mean, we've heard that maybe it's just one of the things you can't get it to do on command. Maybe it's just a...
By morning, cold and exhausted, the two began packing up. While they hadn't witnessed any physical apparitions, the intelligent responses from their devices, especially those connected to the legend of the hanging teacher, left them shaken. The Screaming Woods had lived up to its name. Their overnight investigation didn't deliver the dramatic visuals they expected.
Yeah, me too.
I've left all the equipment running, even the REM pod and that. Everything's over there. Music box is still out. Everything's out. Fire's dying down. It's looking a lot darker around us. Put that light there.
If I hear anything and you're still asleep, I'll wake you up.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna shut the main compartment. Just this netting.
Just it.
Just like falling asleep, I could hear things in the distance, like wailing noises.
Did you hear that mumbling?
Yeah. What was that?
Like a distant mumbling.
Yeah.
Noise. Ages ago, when I think I was walking around on my own.
But what they heard and recorded was far more chilling. Something intelligent, something aware, had been with them that night, and it seemed to be crying out for help. What's up, Silent Nightmare family? I have something huge to share with you today. If we hit 100,000 subscribers, 10 lucky subscribers will each receive a $50 gift card. You can choose any gift cards. That's $500 in total prizes as a thank you to this amazing community. It's super easy to enter. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, like this video, comment below with your favorite Silent Nightmare video or your scariest camping story. That's it. Let's hit 100K together and celebrate the only way we know how, with a massive giveaway. Bear, the creator behind the YouTube channel Exploring with Bear, has built a reputation for fearless adventures, taking his viewers deep into forgotten places and sites whispered to be haunted or crawling with cryptid activity. His calm yet daring approach has earned him a loyal following, but on one particular trip, that bravery would be tested in ways he never expected. What started as a routine exploration soon turned into one of the most unnerving experiences of his life. This time, Bear set his sights on a notoriously haunted forest, a place infamous for sightings of Bigfoot and eerie entities locals call crawlers, creatures said to lurk among the trees. Adding to the unease, another explorer had recently shared a terrifying encounter here, one involving both the so-called crawlers and armed men, before removing the footage entirely. Even before stepping into the forest, Bear wasn't feeling his best. He mentioned still being physically unwell and emotionally drained from a recent visit to a nearby cemetery. His chest felt tight, his head ached, and anxiety was already creeping in. Still, his determination outweighed his discomfort, and he pressed forward into the misty woods. As he ventured deeper, the forest seemed to close in around him. The pain in his head worsened, his stomach began to twist, and every step away from his truck seemed to amplify the sense of dread. The air grew thick, heavy, as if the forest itself was aware of him.
Lots of different water sources out here. Oh man, I just remembered the crawlers in the trees. Oh. Something was just moving over there. Over there. I gotta pull my hat up. Something's moving around. Okay, let's go to the bottom of the creek bed here and hang out here for a minute. I just heard breathing right behind me. That was a growly breath.
Twilight descended, and with it came the sounds. Faint whistles echoed through the trees, followed by the unmistakable sound of heavy breathing, low, guttural, and close. Shadows shifted in the corners of his vision. The calm curiosity that usually fueled his explorations quickly gave way to fear. Then, it happened.
So my original plan... Oh, I just seen a light, or an eye. Duck behind that tree. Are you kidding me? Did you guys catch that? I seen an eye right in here. A big eye. It was orangish yellow. Oh! Oh, there was it again. There it was again. No freaking way, man. That thing sounded terrifying.
Bear spotted it. A large, distinct eye peering from behind a nearby tree. It was glowing with an orange-yellow hue, too big, too deliberate to be animal. The moment he locked eyes with it, the forest erupted with a deep, menacing growl. Whatever was watching him wanted him to know it was there. Panic surged through him. His instincts screamed to run. Fighting nausea and pounding pain in his head, he turned back toward his truck, moving as fast as his shaky legs would carry him.
I'm not worried about filming it. Just worried about moving fast and safe. My head is really hurting me. Ow. My head. And my stomach. What is going on? Ow.
Every rustle behind him sent chills racing down his spine. When he finally reached the safety of his vehicle, Bear sat for a moment in stunned silence. He had originally planned to stealth camp that night, but that idea was gone. Between the physical distress, the sounds, and that unmistakable eye, he knew something wasn't right. He started his engine and left. The mystery of what he encountered in that forest remains unsolved. Maybe it was a cryptid, maybe something else entirely. But one thing is certain, whatever was out there left a mark on him. The physical pain would fade, but the memory of that glowing eye and that guttural growl would linger long after. For explorers like Bear, this story stands as a chilling reminder. Sometimes the unknown is better left alone. On May 7th, 2025, van life creator Kayla set out from Chicago on a long solo drive to Houston. Just her, the open road, and her loyal dog riding shotgun. 7 hours in, after errands, minor van checks, and a stretch of cold, dreary weather, the exhaustion finally caught up with her. By the time darkness settled in, she just needed somewhere, anywhere, to rest. But the nearest motel was already packed. With no other real options, she made a quiet, cautious choice. Park in the motel lot, keep a low profile, and get a few hours of sleep before sunrise.
I'm not sure where I'm at right now. I think I'm in Missouri. I'm not really sure, but it's getting pretty late. Need to find something ASAP.
Inside the van, she moved through her nightly routine with deliberate care. Changed clothes, put away groceries, let her dog out for a moment. Every movement slow, quiet, and calculated. She knew this wasn't exactly allowed. Parking on private property without permission can bring the kind of attention a solo traveler never wants. Finally, she crawled into bed. For a while, it was calm, just distant traffic and the soft rattle of wind pushing against the van. Then came the knock, at first gentle, then louder. Her dog barked in alarm. She froze, listening, hoping she misheard. She didn't.
I had to put up the groceries because I bought Taco Bell. I know I didn't record it, but it was late and it was like right in my face. But I'm gonna put these up and make them tomorrow. Then move the dog out to use the bathroom before I go to bed. Little Rocky. And continue to drive. You guys. Oh, there's a knock on my door. Oh shoot. It's the middle of the night. Oh, hold on. The dog sees him too. Hold on. Shh. Hold on. Oh, move, Rocky. Move. I can't even get up here because of the dog. Move, baby.
You got a room here?
Excuse me?
You got a room here?
I was actually about to get a room. I wasn't here that long. I had to use the bathroom.
Alright. You don't have a room here, you got to leave.
Okay, thank you. Oh my god. I'm getting kicked out. And it's the middle of the night. Oh my god.
When she peeked out the window, a man stood inches from her van. He said he worked at the motel and told her she needed to leave immediately. No warmth in his voice, no explanation. Just an icy, insistent command in the middle of the night. Kayla didn't argue. She grabbed her things, started the van, and drove off into the darkness, now forced to find another place to sleep while running on fumes.
Okay, so I found a truck stop, and I'm gonna be sleeping here for the night. I don't think anybody's gonna come knock on my door. I hope not. But it looks kind of dangerous. I am at a truck stop in the, like, wide open. I don't know.
The encounter never escalated, but the feeling stayed with her. Alone, far from home, and suddenly very aware of how vulnerable one simple knock can make you feel. Sometimes it's not the confrontation itself, but the unanswered questions that linger long after you've driven away. Frank, the man behind Franco TV, is no stranger to exploring the places most people avoid after dark. But in this episode, he ventures into one of his most unnerving locations yet, a secluded cemetery buried deep within the woods. His goal is simple: to spend the night there and document any signs of paranormal activity. But what he experiences instead goes far beyond what he ever expected. A night filled with strange noises, eerie discoveries, and an overwhelming feeling that something unseen is watching him. From the moment Frank steps into the forest, the atmosphere feels wrong. The trees crowd around him, his flashlight barely piercing the darkness. And the silence feels alive. It's not an empty quiet. It's a silence that waits.
There's my flashlight. So I have a good look around this place. That's creepy. One thing for sure is that every time I come out here, I always get like this Blair Witch vibes. The other thing, I'm already hearing something. Okay. I'm already spooked out going through here. I just heard a knocking. 100% I just heard a knocking. Hello? My wife. There's a knocking coming from within the forest right now. I heard it right over here.
The first sounds are easy enough to dismiss: a branch breaking, maybe a distant animal. But soon, the noises grow heavier, more deliberate. They echo through the trees in a way that feels almost intentional. Still, Frank pushes deeper into the woods, clinging to the hope that whatever he's hearing is something supernatural, not something human.
Oh, God. Oh, God. That's somebody's puppy. That's their dog. They're unburied for some reason. Someone like unburied somebody's dog. That's his teeth right there. Poor thing. One thing that makes me nervous on going in here is that as soon as you step in, it's like all the trees stop moving, the birds stop moving. All the animals are just watching me as if they're waiting to see what's gonna happen, you know? Like if they're watching like another predator getting ready to get me. And that would be like I'm just thinking of the mountain lion, but I am getting other things that are not mountain lions. So right now, I just heard what sound like branches and something kind of shuffling through the forest. Right in front of me. Damn it. It sounded big too. Listen. What the hell is that? I'm hearing bangs now.
When he finally reaches the edge of the cemetery, the air itself seems to change. The forest stills. No rustling leaves, no chirping insects, just an eerie stillness that makes every breath sound too loud. Then, from somewhere beyond the tree line, a voice-like sound breaks through. It's faint, drawn out, almost human, but wrong.
Coming from here. Oh, that's creepy. That sounds like somebody saying you. The thing is that vegetation is super dense right in front of me, so I can't really see past that area. It sounds human. Hola.
The thick vegetation blocks his view, and whatever is making the sound stays hidden. Despite the growing dread, Frank refuses to turn back. But the deeper he goes, the more the tension builds. The sounds seem to circle him. Footsteps, movement, whispers. The realization hits him. Whatever's out there isn't hiding anymore. It wants to be heard.
So I just had to back out of the forest for a second. This happened again with the cameras off. This is all happening like randomly. But I just heard what sounded like a loud sound of a baby crying deep from the forest. I want to see if you guys could hear it. I'm going to keep quiet for a second. What? Something's in there. Some definitely's in there. I'm gonna turn on my flashlight. Let's turn on the IR. Holy shit. I am literally creeped out to the bone right now. What the f*** is that? I am ready to run. I got all my gear on me just in case. Holy shit.
Feeling surrounded and increasingly uneasy, Frank makes a practical decision. He checks his GPS and reroutes through an off-road trail that might lead him safely to the other side of the cemetery, giving him both a better approach and a quick exit if things go wrong.
I'm gonna walk a little bit closer. What the fuck? Something So now I'm parked here towards the other side. This is getting closer towards the city area. I had to go off-road with this thing. But I found a better route, so that way I'm a little bit more safer, so I could just get the hell out if worst case scenario type of thing. This is the forest right here in front of me. I made it all the way back out. That's one of the entrances that leads you to it. I am going to be honest, I'm scared. I am a little bit closer right now. I'm just next to the truck. And I am still hearing this thing saying Aki. And that means that I'm right here or over here. Like over here. And at the same time, well, see, there it is again. And I'm hearing movement in the forest, I swear, and I'm not seeing anything. But I could hear movement in there, and it's like in multiple areas. I do not feel safe going inside right now by myself. Hello? I'm gonna turn on my flashlight. There it is. You hear it? Try to get a little bit closer again, but I can't go inside. I'm like watering up right now for how freaking creepy this is.
Yet, even near his truck, the noises continue. Soft voices, shifting positions, moving from one side of the forest to the other. Frank scans the tree line, but no one's there. Just sound, just suggestion.
I see it. Oh my god, I just heard it over here. I'm gonna zoom out. Again, this is just another part of the cemetery on the backside. But there's still more that goes way deeper inside. But I don't feel safe. Okay, so I've made it closer towards the front. I am grabbing every bit of energy that I can to do this, because I'm already like kind of freaked out. I wanna finish this. I'm just happy I found another way I could come in here and not have to go through the same way from back there. There's the knocking again. ¿Cómo se llama? There's somebody back there. There's people here. Alright, at this point now, I am going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's about 4 to 5 in the morning right now. The sun's going to be up soon. And I am freaking out. My anxiety levels are through the... What the f*** is that? Holy shit. Nope. Give me a second. That was close. I am not sure what the hell is going on with this.
Finally, at the cemetery's entrance, he decides to call it a night. What began as a search for the paranormal ends with more questions than answers. Frank came looking for ghosts, but what he found felt far too human. So, what do you think was out there that night? On October 30th, 2024, the night before Halloween, a solo adventurer from the YouTube channel, Explorers, headed deep into the remote woods of Dungeness for his first ever solo camping trip. The goal was simple: test his nerves in a forest known for eerie legends. But the moment he settled in, the woods had other plans.
So I've decided to go out and do a solo camp. I've never done a solo camp in my life.
So it's going to be something different for me, a new experience, and probably a little bit creepy. I do have, I'm just going to pick up my tent. I do have a story I would like to tell you. It happened to me when I was young. It's a true story, and it's creeped. Right guys, that's the tent all pitched up, ready to go. How exciting. It's only an old tent I'd laying around, but it does me okay. So nice and quick and easy. Now 11:15, it's getting a bit late now, so I'm thinking of getting in that tent. It's a really eerie feeling out here, it really is. All on your own, it's dead quiet now, there's no cars going past. Like I say, it's almost 11:15, so it's getting late, there's no one about, so...
By 11 p.m., he was zipped inside his tent, listening to occasional noises outside. At first, he brushed them off as animals, but then came the sound that froze him, stones crunching under a slow, deliberate step. Not random, not wildlife. Gripped by equal parts fear and curiosity, he stepped out to investigate. His flashlight swept across nothing but empty trees and darkness. No movement, no sound. Just an uncomfortable silence pressing in from all sides. Back in his tent, as he tried to drift off, something brushed against the fabric from the outside, light at first, then followed by a violent slam that nearly buckled the tent wall inward. He sat there, heart hammering, barely breathing. Should he look? Should he stay still? Eventually, he forced himself to unzip the door.
It's getting a bit creepy outside. I thought I heard a few noises here and there, but I'll just put it down to animals, I think, because you know, it's a bit nasty out there. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm gonna, because there's not a lot else I can do, I think I'm gonna get my head down, because it's now 11:30. So what was that? Did you hear that, guys?
His light cut through the black, revealing only trees, but the feeling of being watched was suffocating. Then another loud, unexplained crack echoed through the woods, closer this time. That's when the realization hit him. This wasn't an animal. Someone was out there.
I've got to go out and inspect that, guys. I've got to go out and inspect it. I've got to go and check that out, guys. Got to go and check that out. Because that wasn't very nice. That sounded a bit close to the tent. Can't see anything. What was that, guys? Shit. Someone out there. Shit. Oh, fuck. I don't know what to do, guys. I'm gonna have to go out there. Oh, fucking hell. What's going on? Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to grow some balls and go out there. I really don't want to. That was... That's shaking me up, guys. That's really shaking me up. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm gonna have to go out and check it out. I really don't want to. I'm shitting myself.
His fear turned into survival instinct. He abandoned the tent, grabbed whatever gear he could, and sprinted through the darkness, headlamp scanning frantically for movement, for eyes, for anything. He made it out unharmed, but he left the woods with a question he still can't answer. Who was out there that night? A prankster? A dangerous stranger? Or something the legends never fully warned about? After several rough days living out of her van, Christine from Nomad Unknown decided that a quiet overnight trip in the Deep South might help clear her mind. But what she expected to be a simple reset quickly turned into a series of encounters that forced her to rethink everything.
So I'm sitting outside my car, outside my home, at a trailhead, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I have it in me to go on a backpacking trip. I planned to do this backpacking trip and I wanted to do a ton of miles and really push myself, but I think I am gonna go because it feels really nice to be outside, but I think I'm just gonna do a handful of miles or something, set up my tent someplace, and just kind of take it easy on myself, because sometimes just doing a little bit is all you can ask of yourself.
The sun was already slipping west by the time she started her hike along the Wild Alia Trail. With miles ahead and daylight fading fast, she pushed deeper into an increasingly dense forest, completely alone. About a mile in, she crossed paths with 3 young men. The exchange seemed harmless. They even pointed her toward a supposedly good camping spot. But once they disappeared down the trail, the silence returned, and Christine realized just how isolated she truly was.
But the men I ran into earlier, I was picking their brains about camp spots because I have this trail downloaded on All Trails, but I haven't seen much information or indication of camps. Obviously, it's backpacking trails, so they're going to be out here, but they indicated that there's probably going to be some near the water crossings. Didn't really give me any specifics. I'm sure I'll find them, and yeah, by the water crossing is where I'm kind of expecting to see them.
Roughly 3 miles from the trailhead, she found a clearing that looked perfect for camp. But that's when she had her first unsettling encounter.
You ever just come across somebody and the energy is just off? That is what's been happening to me a little bit today. I'm about 3 miles in and I found this spot that I would really love to camp. But just as I was getting here, I saw somebody that I've seen twice already today. The first time I saw him, he only had a water bottle in his hand, no backpack or anything. And I saw him at the trailhead where I parked my car as I was still pulling things out of my car. And at that point, as soon as he saw me, he sort of turned around and headed back onto the trail. I've seen him 4 times, I just realized. And then I saw him as I was hiking. I'd started with my pack up the trail, and he came from behind me, still with just the water bottle. And I didn't hear him at first, but it kind of startled me a little bit. So I moved over to let him go past, and that time was the first time I said, "Oh, hello." And he just said, "Hi." The next time I saw him, he was at a crossroads, and it looked like he was loading things into his car to leave. But I guess he was pulling a backpack out, because even though I didn't say anything to him at that point, I literally just got across this bridge that's behind me, and it was filming some of the wild azaleas. And there he came from behind me again, this time with the backpack on, like an overnight backpack. There's nothing concrete that's wrong with any of that, but it's the feeling of it. But something about the energy of this particular individual has me on edge a bit. So I was just at the point where I had seen this place and decided I wanted to camp here. And he passed me on the trail, and I was stopped, and I just stood there by the flowers, like filming them. And then I think he was out of sight by the time I came over here, but I haven't set anything up yet. I just set my pack down, and I've just been hanging out, just trying to get a feel for the place and make sure that he's not around anymore.
Another man approached, alone, out of nowhere, miles from civilization. Out here, with no cell service and no backup, even a simple conversation can instantly become tense for a solo traveler. Christine's intuition told her something was off. Still, she wasn't ready to give up on her plans. Then she made a discovery that stopped her cold.
This area that I was looking across at, you see, there's the bridge, you can see that. And then the dog house right there. I was thinking I was going to camp over there, but I looked over and I saw this area here, the clearing, and I thought, you know what, that's a bit more hidden from trail. I might feel more comfortable and secure over there, so I came over. Why is there a trail cam pointing to that campsite? I don't really know how those things work. Maybe it's not visible on the camera, but like, what else is it pointing at? Okay. The heck? Like, here's the trail cam. What is it pointing at? Putting my camera right behind. My backpack is right there. That's where I was gonna camp. Like, that's an established campsite. Looks like this one is too, but what the heck is going on here? I'm standing at my pack and I am looking, and I cannot for the life of me see it over there. I mean, camo, right? Very effective. Like, oh, there it is. I see it now. Okay, let's see if I can show you guys. Ooh, it's hard. Okay, maybe right here. I'm going to try to zoom even more. It's going to get really bad. Quality, but there it is. You can see it right.
She wouldn't say what it was on camera, but whatever she found was disturbing enough that she immediately sought out the next group of hikers she could find. When she showed them and a few locals what she'd come across, their reactions said everything. Shock, concern, warnings. Her instincts had been right. Something wasn't okay out there. By the time shadows stretched across the forest floor, Christine made the decision that likely kept her safe.
And I did, since I had the opportunity to speak to some locals, ask them about the trail cam. And if I was just being dramatic and crazy. And they said that is not normal. I was like, okay. I didn't think so. I'm not from around here. They said I should report it to the Forest Service. So that thought had already occurred to me.
She abandoned her solo camping trip entirely and met up with another van-dwelling friend for the night. Sometimes survival isn't about bravery. It's about listening when something inside you whispers, "Leave now." In late 2024, Yaimi, a solo camper, set out to find a quiet, wild camping spot in Norfolk just as rain began falling and dusk settled in. What should have been a calm evening in nature quickly spiraled into something far more unnerving. His first choice was picture perfect, a scenic overlook with sweeping views, but the posted signs shut that plan down immediately.
So I think I'm going to have a tea here, and then I'll see what I think, and I'll potentially sleep here, or I will go home. I'll tell you, it's nice to stop because I've done about a squillion miles tonight. Right, I think I'm going to do an hour watch, and because I'm in charge of a motor vehicle, non-alco, no fun.
Despite the uneasy silence hanging over the place, he decided this would have to do. The temperature had dropped to around 5 degrees, and he stepped outside to cook his evening meal. That's when he heard it.
I don't know what the hell's going on tonight. I can hear all sorts of weird singing going on in those woods. I think I'm gonna cook my tea.
faint at first, the sound drifted from deep within the trees. A strange, almost musical singing. Soft, distant, but just clear enough to make his skin crawl.
My massive spanker, in case I have to sort anyone out tonight. I love a temperature check. It's currently 5 degrees sitting out here, so I think I've got to see about putting some extra layers on. There's some movements going on under there. That's weird singing woods. Road. Pedders Way. JB, Base Camp 1. That is a tasty burger. We have a plain bun, a black pud, a mental cheese, a burger and a plain bun. No walkabout tonight. Bugger that. I don't know what the hell's going on in those woods, but I don't want to end up in some cult. I think I'm going to risk a little walk. I want to know what's going on in those woods, so I'm going to do the back of the van up and make sure I've got my keys. I don't really want to be locking myself out. I really don't know whether this is a good idea, but perhaps I'll go over there with the light off. I've had a second thought. I don't know whether I really want to know what's going on in there. I think I'll go back to the van. It's bloody weird here, I tell you. Oh, bloody freezing. So I'm going to get my stuff ready inside my van. I haven't got my airbed or anything all set up yet.
Jaime mentioned he'd planned to take a walk after dinner. But the moment that singing carried through the darkness, he gave up on that idea instantly. Retreating inside his van with only his sleeping bag, inflatable mat, and a few basic supplies, he tried to settle down for the night. But the singing didn't fade. If anything, it seemed to linger.
Just go out the van to have a piss. What the f*** is that? There's a light in the bloody woods now. I'll tell you what, f*** this.
An eerie, drifting voice that felt completely out of place in the empty woods. The longer it went on, the more wrong the whole atmosphere felt. Later, when he reluctantly stepped outside for a moment, he froze. A light, definitely not his, was moving slowly between the trees. Not a car, not a house, not another camper. Just a lone, wandering light in a forest that should have been entirely deserted. Combined with the unexplained singing, the situation crossed from unsettling into genuinely dangerous. Jaime had two options: go investigate, or trust his instincts. He didn't hesitate. He grabbed his gear, jumped into the driver's seat, and left immediately, choosing the safety of the road over spending a long, terrifying night wondering who or what was moving through those woods in the dark. Sometimes the smartest survival skill is knowing when to get out. In March of 2022, Chris and Meg from the YouTube channel Back in Time uploaded a video from an old decaying farmhouse somewhere in the UK. They explained in the description that they'd entered through an open window on the side of the building, and the moment you see the footage, it's clear the place hasn't been lived in properly for years. Leaves and dust cover the floors, spider webs stretch across corners, and a pair of abandoned shoes sits untouched. Even a few small animal remains are scattered around, along with some old shotgun shells on a nightstand. Still, there were strange signs that someone might have been there more recently. One bedroom had a fairly new light bulb, and some clothes in a closet looked a little too clean to belong in a house this neglected. From the photos left behind on the walls and shelves, Chris figured a family with 4 kids once lived here. Nothing about the place prepared them for what they were about to find.
Heads down.
It's like a nice, thin, narrow piece of carpet that comes all the way across. Absolutely nuts. So we'll come into this bedroom here. And wow. What an absolute beauty this place is. Try to get the light a bit better on there, but look at that bed. The old Zimmer frame. So they've still got the old bag. That's what the old people use these days, don't they? Get all their shopping in. Little table there with a few bits. Loving that wardrobe.
I'll just move in front of you. Can I help you?
Oh my god! Fucking hell! You're alive!
You are?
Fucking hell, man.
You live in here, you can't live in here. Yeah?
No!
But real can't. Look
We
at
thought
the
it was
bed.
abandoned. We thought it was abandoned.
You can't live in here. Yeah.
Holy shit! Are you okay?
Yeah, thank you.
We thought
How
that
did you get in?
there's a window that's open downstairs.
Window open?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an open window. What we do,
We do
take
videos on.
pictures of like old farmhouses because we're really interested in them.
Oh.
We thought it was abandoned because of this.
No.
You live in here.
As they moved upstairs and stepped into one of the bedrooms, Chris walked in first and thought the room was empty, until Meg entered behind him and made a noise. That's when the figure in the bed suddenly sat up. An elderly woman had been sleeping there. The moment she woke, both explorers jumped in shock. They blurred her face for privacy, but it's clear she was older, fragile, and living in difficult conditions. As they spoke with her, she introduced herself as Jane. She explained she had no family who could take her in, and that she'd been living alone in the abandoned farmhouse for decades. Chris and Meg stayed with her for a while, gently asking about her life and how she ended up there, turning what started as a terrifying moment into a strangely touching conversation.
It's not your farm then?
No.
Is this your house?
No.
It's not your house?
No.
So do you just live here then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god, I'm sorry. We didn't realise because of all the cobwebs and all the decay. We just assumed that it was abandoned.
Yeah. What happened was I came here to help somebody,
Okay.
and this is only for a week I'm coming,
Yeah.
and that was 1993.
Oh god.
Wow, so you've been here
That's
nearly
2
30
That's
years.
almost just, yeah.
Nearly 30 years.
Is that how
Jesus.
long you stayed in here then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jane claimed she'd lived in the farmhouse for 30 years. Even when Chris and Meg offered to bring food, clean clothes, and bedding, she insisted she didn't need help. According to her, the men who worked the nearby farm knew she lived there and brought her food and water every day. She said she preferred things the way they were. Before leaving, Chris and Meg promised they would visit her again. But the video didn't end on that warm note. At the end, they added a message explaining that Chris had done extensive research afterward. He eventually heard from someone who knew the farmer, and this person confirmed something surprising. Jane wasn't completely alone. According to him, the farmer actually lived in the same house with her and checked on her constantly. He also said Jane had family, including a brother who tried to help her, but she rarely accepted support from anyone. Still unsure what to believe, Chris dug deeper. The farmhouse wasn't listed in land registry records, but another property in Jane's name showed up, one she'd owned from 1986 to 2015. When Chris visited that property, he found it in the same deteriorated state as the farmhouse. Concerned, he contacted Adult Social Services. They responded, confirming they were aware of Jane, but couldn't share details. They thanked him for the information and said they would handle it from there. Chris then asked the man who'd contacted him to tell Jane he and Meg would happily visit again if she wanted. After that, no more updates came. And it's unclear what happened to the elderly woman living in that collapsing farmhouse. Anyone who explores that place in the future may very well run into the same heartbreaking situation. Sadly, Stories like Jane's are more common than most people realize. With rising costs and the global economy stretching people thin, many elderly individuals slip through the cracks. Hopefully, Jane eventually accepted help and found a safer place to spend her remaining years. On April 9th, 2023, Carl, the calm, steady presence behind Welcome to the Woods UK, returned to a section of his private woodland. Months earlier, he'd hinted that something unexplained had happened there. Viewers kept urging him to go back, so he finally did. The spring air was crisp, the forest quiet, and he came prepared with his usual gear plus a new solar-powered lantern. The day unfolded peacefully. Carl cooked, walked the property, and chatted about his equipment while the last light of the sun washed the trees in soft gold. But during dinner, something curious happened. A small twig arced through the air above him. It wasn't the kind of fall you'd expect from a branch. It looked thrown. Carl brushed it off, but the moment lingered.
You can imagine, with it being inflatable and fully waterproof, I think it's like IP67 or something like that, it can put up with snow, it can put up with rain, it can put up with pretty much everything you throw at it. And that chucks out quite a lot of light, really, to be fair, and that lasts for hours. Not sure exactly how many hours, I've not tested it yet, but that's my blanket just falling, don't worry. Yeah, a couple of different light settings, obviously flashing, good for reading and everything else, and obviously it can keep you charged and good to go.
When night settled in, the forest changed. Around 1 a.m., sharp cracks echoed through the darkness. Branches snapping, twigs breaking, not random. They came in clusters, movement, then silence, like something was pacing, observing. Carl called out, hoping that if it was a trespasser, they'd answer. But the woods stayed unnervingly quiet. No voices, no footsteps, just an oppressive stillness that made the trees feel taller, heavier.
Branches or something getting thrown. It's just inky black. Fuck. I don't know what's going on here. Something's not. That was loud. Oi! One second, I want to get out. Honestly, every time I come to this poxy woodland, thinking about it though, I have just had a good 10 minutes walking about. I shouted out. I didn't hear nothing, deadly still.
He stepped away from camp to investigate, but found nothing. No animal eyeshine, no tracks, no shape shifting in the undergrowth. Just darkness swallowing everything beyond the lantern's glow. By morning, the forest felt normal again. His trail camera, checked on its tiny screen, showed nothing obvious, but he planned to review it properly once he got home.
Last night, had that funny happening during the night, but I'm just having a look at the trail cam footage, see if there's anything on here. Problem is, it's got such a small screen and very bad audio unless you put it on the laptop that I think I'm going to have to go home and look at it on the laptop. And if there's anything on there, I'll put it up at the end. But
whatever had moved out there left no clear sign. So, what was it? A person spooked off before being seen? An animal behaving with strange intent? Or something else entirely? One viewer summed it up best. Something is truly lurking in those woods at night. Rotting Midwest, a YouTuber with over 400,000 followers, is known for his gripping urban exploration videos, each one pushing the limits of curiosity and courage. But in August 2024, he and his friends experienced every explorer's worst nightmare. That evening, they set out to infiltrate a massive, heavily guarded abandoned complex, the kind of place sealed tight with boarded entrances, motion sensors, and constant patrols. For hours, they searched for a way in, adrenaline pumping as the sun faded. Finally, they found an opening. Inside, the air was thick with dust and decay.
Found a way, but it's locked. I closed it. I can't get out. I'm actually fucking stuck in here. Deadass, I can't get out, bro. I fucking closed the door. There's a camera up there. I moved it. I need to find a way out. I literally don't have a way out of here. I swear.
Every step they took echoed through the hollow corridors, their flashlights cutting through layers of darkness. Rotting Midwest moved carefully, searching for a route his friends could follow in. And, just as importantly, a way out if things went wrong.
The fire escape here, but I want to go through with these alarms. This is like last resort. It says alarms were found. So, don't think that's probably a good idea. Oh, that's the rooftop. There's an alarm there too, a sensor. Let's go off. Fire exit up here. Let's check this one. I think these alarms. Oh my god. These alarms go off. We have to leave. That's the end of it. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god. It's open. It's open. I gotta call my friends. Yeah, I got a way open, dude. We can all go in it.
Where is it?
Give me a second.
And how are the cameras? Like,
I haven't seen any. There was only one camera when first coming in, but I already moved it.
Yeah, that door was better.
I swear I heard noises, bro. There's a lot of scary noises.
Motion sensors blinked along the walls. Every creak, every whisper felt dangerous. But the thrill of discovery pushed them deeper into the eerie silence. Then came the sound no explorer wants to hear. Distant voices, the thud of heavy boots. Security was inside. Panic set in instantly. They sprinted through pitch-black hallways, their breath ragged, trying to retrace the route to freedom. Against all odds, they escaped, but only just.
We gotta get out of here. And security. Why we're parked, we think so.
That's right where they are, guys.
Isn't it?
A few days later, unable to shake the pull of the place, they went back. This time, their original escape route was sealed shut. Still determined, they searched again until they found another way in. But luck was not on their side.
Alright guys, I just opened it up. I bet we have cops and security coming towards us right now. Cool. Oh, that's so cool. The movie theater is right here. Like an active theater.
Oh, active?
Yes. They're probably right behind this fucking wall. Literally probably right there. Stop. Yeah, it's blocked off down there. Was it cop?
It opens. We gotta go. You saw the guy? Yeah. He didn't, like, did he look at you? Yeah. He saw you? He said, come here. Oh, really? What the fuck? There's a cop. The cop right there. There's a cop.
Didn't you? Oh wait, no, where did I go? Oh, it's all the way down there.
Oh.
I was like, wait a minute.
No, hurry up, because he still get us if he comes out here.
They haven't moved though.
He's probably in the building.
They could be sending more here.
I mean, we look suspicious.
Where are you at? Where are you at? Right there. Stop. Huh? Stop. Came out with 3 of them. Here they are. Pretty good.
Not long into the exploration, a police officer appeared outside. They tried to flee, darting toward the exit and managing to slip away. Briefly. Moments later, the same officer caught up to them, this time joined by several others. The footage abruptly cuts there, the next scene showing them inside a police station. Urban exploration is a rush like no other, but when the silence hides alarms, guards, and the law itself, you never really know how the story will end. Jared Coker runs a small YouTube channel where he documents his trips into abandoned buildings across America. Since 2020, he's uploaded more than 200 videos, most of them quiet explorations of forgotten places. But in March 2022, while filming inside an abandoned dog treat factory in Wichita, Kansas, he captured something far more unsettling than peeling paint and empty hallways. The video begins normally enough. Jared wanders through silent rooms, listening to the occasional bang echo somewhere in the distance. The factory appears completely empty. No squatters, no workers, nobody.
I said, this place is crazy. It just surprises me everywhere I turn. Uh-oh. There's a car right there. I can't figure that should be too much of a problem for me though, because the way I'm gonna go out is completely circling around here like I did to get in, so. Oh, they're out of their car. Oh, they're coming in the gate. They're coming in the gate. On second thought, I might just want to wrap this up a little quicker here. I want to see where he goes though. Yeah, if I'm gonna leave here, I'm gonna need to know exactly where he's headed towards. Oh crap. He's really coming all the way in here. He's opening the second gate. Now I'm really concerned.
After thoroughly checking each floor, he looks out a window and spots a red car rolling through the gates toward the building. At first, he isn't sure what to make of it. But when the car stops and the driver steps out, heading straight for the entrance, Jared realizes this stranger is coming inside.
I think I see where he drove through. It looks like the same red car. Right over here is the second ramp runway thing. Oh God. Someone's right out there. What do I do? I couldn't tell what he was holding.
He immediately tries to slip out unnoticed, but the car moves out of sight, leaving Jared with no idea where the man is or which entrance he might be using. Moments later, Jared sees him again, cutting through the woods toward the main door, holding something in his hands. From Jared's angle, there's no way to tell if it's a flashlight or something more dangerous.
Oh my God. Was that a gunshot? I think it was. He had something in his hand too. It must have been a gun.
For several tense minutes, Jared makes his way through the factory as quietly as possible, trying to avoid being cornered by someone who might know the layout far better than he does. Just when it seems like he might actually make it out, the situation turns frightening.
I don't like being out in the open like this. Whoa, whoa.
Stop right there.
Whoa.
Who else is with you?
Oh, it's just me. You scared me to death.
Okay, get over there now.
What?
Sit down. I'll give you handcuffs.
Huh?
Put them on. Got it?
Okay.
Either I can put them on or you can put them on. Take your pick.
I've never put on handcuffs before.
Just put them on each side of you. How's that? Put them in front of you. That way you can carry them in front, okay?
What's going to happen?
What? What's going to happen is the police is going to come and then you take your name and they'll get you for criminal trespassing. It's nothing these days. A lot better than me shooting you, isn't it?
Was that what I heard?
Yeah.
What'd you shoot at?
Shoot it. See people, I shoot at them.
There
If they run, you shoot. There you go. Okay?
Is there someone else here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be cool, nothing will happen, okay?
Alright.
I shot one guy this way, the other one. Well, it's alright. I'm not gonna shoot you. Don't you see? Something says a use of deadly force. What do you think that is?
I thought that was kids spray paint.
No, that's me telling you I'll shoot you.
The man, later revealed to be an armed vigilante, jumps out from behind the bushes and confronts Jared at gunpoint, ordering him to put on handcuffs. The exchange is tense and unpredictable, and the man's behavior makes it difficult to tell if he's thinking clearly, which only heightens the danger of the moment. At one point, he even tells Jared to get into his vehicle.
So what made you come here?
Well, I've heard of it. It seemed really epic. You know, I got my camera. I like to take photos and stuff.
Nobody else is with you, right?
No, it's just me.
Okay, if I see somebody, I'm going to end up probably shooting them.
Oh no, if I were with someone and I know you shoot people, I would have gotten them.
Okay. I just don't want, they say wait, they scare me, I'll shoot in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just life. What we're going to do is we'll throw your camera and your bag in the trunk, okay?
Okay.
I'll put my gun in there too. Alright?
Alright.
We'll get in a little red cart, we'll just drive up here, set everything out, the police will come, they'll ask you for your driver's license, and they'll give you a little ticket.
Fearing things could escalate, Jared complies. He stops recording to avoid setting the man off, and it takes police nearly 90 minutes to arrive. When officers finally arrive, an eerie coincidence unfolds. Two teenagers enter the property using the same route Jared had taken earlier. The man flatly tells officers that if he found kids inside, he'd shoot them. While Jared is being taken to the station for trespassing, news comes through that the teens have been shot. Fortunately, the weapon used non-lethal pellets, but one of the teens still needed hospital treatment. The shooter was later identified as 62-year-old Ken Thomas. Despite injuring the teens, he received only 2 years of probation. As for Jared, he's never returned to that abandoned dog treat factory. And after what happened that day, it's easy to understand why. Rhodey is a YouTuber who documents his minimalist lifestyle, living out of his 2003 Tacoma while traveling for summer work. Most nights, it's peaceful, quiet, and uneventful. But one weekend would leave him questioning every decision he'd made about where to park for the night.
My camper shell is carpeted on the top here. I noticed that when it gets really cold at night, my camper shell will actually kind of contain some heat. It's usually maybe about 15 degrees warmer in here than it is in the outside. Another thing I'm not totally sure if I posted in the original video, but my windows on this camper shell are screened. So it allows me pretty much to open them up, get some fresh air in, but not have the bugs come in. Really works good, and that's big during the summer when bugs are out.
I'm back living at my house now mostly, but was out this past weekend and was headed home.
After a long day on the road, he he pulled off the freeway and found what seemed like a perfect spot. A small, empty parking lot tucked away in the dark. The camper shell on the back of his truck, with its tinted windows, offered privacy and just enough comfort to get some rest. From the outside, it looked like any other parked vehicle, silent, unremarkable. But around 1:30 in the morning, Rhodey woke to the sound of footsteps. Slow, careful. Someone was circling his truck. Through the tinted glass, he could barely make out a figure. A man holding up a phone, snapping pictures of his vehicle.
A little bit alarming. So what you'll see here in a second, he pulls out his phone and starts taking pictures. It looks like of my license plate or something like that. I'm not sure why he was doing this. So I thought maybe, I wasn't allowed to park there and he was taking pictures of my license plate, but it's kind of odd to be doing that at 1:30 in the morning. And he didn't look like a security guard or anything like that.
The stranger had no idea anyone was inside. He made several slow laps, each one feeling more deliberate, more sinister. Then the man returned to the back of the truck. A bright flashlight beam suddenly cut through the darkness, scanning across the tinted windows, searching for a way to see in. Rhodey froze for a moment. Then, acting on pure instinct, slammed his hand hard against the glass. The reaction was instant. The man jumped back, startled, then bolted into the night, vanishing between the rows of parked cars. Rhodey didn't wait around. He started the engine and drove off without looking back.
So this is a good example of why I never really like to sleep in like parking lots and stuff like that. During the summers, I live out of my truck a lot, but it's always at either work or campsite. Okay, guys, real quick, look at my door right here, and you'll notice it's a little bit cracked open. And so I think what happened is I forgot to, I didn't forget, but I just didn't close it all the way when I went to bed. And so it was locked, but it was still not totally closed all the way. So this is kind of how my door was. You can see it's closed. There's a little gap. And it's locked. You're not going to get in there. But it's definitely noticeable from the side and everything.
Later, as the adrenaline faded, he realized how vulnerable he'd been. His privacy curtain, the one separating his cab from the camper shell, had fallen during the night, leaving him completely exposed. The only thing protecting him had been a layer of tinted glass.
So another really nice thing to have if you are going to do some car camping, and I've talked about this in my previous videos, is a limo tinted windows on your camper shell. Not only will this not let people see into the back while you're sleeping, but it'll hide any belongings that you may have in the back. Alright, so that's about it. I just wanted to share my experience. I know some of you might think sleeping in your car or truck or whatever, car camping, might sound a little bit odd, but it's really a growing community right now. This kind of living off the grid thing, and that's not exactly what I do. I do it because I work as a guide during the summers, so that's primarily why I have this set up, but it's still really cool. I can go out and travel, and I pretty much always have somewhere to sleep. Although, like I said earlier, I wouldn't suggest sleeping in random parking lots. I always try to stay at campsites, friends' places, work, places where I know that I'm allowed to be and that I know that I'll be safe at. But that's about it for this video. Check in my next video. I'm going to do some mods to my camper shell. So I'm going to do a little bit of renovating. I'm going to switch things up a little bit. I know I talked about in my last video how I really like the setup I have so far. But I'm going to change it around a little bit. I think I can get it a little.
That night was a stark reminder of how unpredictable life on the road can be. And somewhere out there, in parking lots across the country, that same stranger might still be wandering between vehicles, looking for another camper who doesn't realize they're being watched. Philly and Keely, a van life couple documenting their travels across Europe, had spent days exploring the breathtaking monasteries of Meteora, Greece. Their journey was everything they'd hoped for: stunning views, ancient history, and the kind of peace only found in remote places. But after several freezing nights in the mountains, they decided to find somewhere warmer to rest, a decision that would turn their tranquil adventure into a night of sheer terror. They eventually settled on a campsite near some hot springs. The spot had mixed reviews, but it was the off-season. Quiet, empty, and seemingly safe. They convinced themselves it would be fine.
Alright guys, we've had a bit of downtime. We're about to go to sleep nice and early because I don't know if you remember, we're sunrise people now. Right?
Yeah, I'm excited.
If you remember, I drew a line in the sand.
Uh-huh.
And you know, that line is here to stay. We'll see you in the morning.
As the night deepened, they wrapped up filming for the day, cooked dinner, and settled in to relax. Everything was calm, until it wasn't.
What are you shining your light for? Where's your phone? No! You're not police!
Out of nowhere, loud, violent banging shattered the silence, pounding on the sides of their van again and again. Startled, Philly and Keely froze. Through the windows, they could see movement, figures circling the vehicle. Whoever they weren't just passing by. The pounding continued, followed by muffled voices demanding they open the door. Each refusal made the intruders angrier, their banging more aggressive. In that moment, the couple realized exactly what was happening. Whoever was outside wasn't there by accident. They wanted in.
To give a little context, we had been looking at park for night in this area. There's some hot springs, like we said, we wanted to come to hot springs. And we had read loads of horror stories on the park for nights. But then we knew other people who had been here, we messaged and they were like, no, it felt totally safe. And you know, it's out of season. So we've had where we've read park for nights before and had wonderful experiences. This was not that situation.
Alright guys, we parked up significant distance away from that other park up, but what can I say?
I'm really annoyed. Guys, the thing is for me, right, is the absolute audacity that they kept trying to get in the van and kept demanding that we open the van to them. And I'm like, what was their plan? Did they have a weapon? Were they trying to, like, how were they planning to steal everything while we were both here? Like,
well, I think we just did the right thing. We just jumped in and drove away, so... It's just annoying because it's something that it does kind of set you back, especially us as well, because this has happened to us quite a lot and we did actually get robbed. And it's just annoying because we've always had that fear in our heads, and when something like this happens, it just brings everything right back to the surface. And then there's going to be a healing process. It's going to just take time before you feel safe in the van again, you know.
But there's so many of our friends have never experienced anything, have never had attempted break-ins. I don't know what it is that we exude that this van looks very breakable, innable, but...
Anyway, we're gonna probably not get much sleep, but we'll catch you guys in the morning after a night of, I don't know, contemplation and...
Acting on instinct, Philly jumped into the driver's seat while Keely climbed beside him. With trembling hands, they started the engine and sped off into the night. As they drove away, their headlights caught a chilling sight. Several figures retreating into the nearby bushes, disappearing into the darkness as if they'd never been there. The entire encounter lasted only minutes, but it felt like an eternity. The couple didn't stop driving until they were miles away. Later, as the adrenaline faded, they sat in silence, shaken, confused, and wondering what had made them targets that night. What was supposed to be a peaceful evening near the hot springs had turned into something else entirely. A stark reminder that even in the most beautiful places on Earth, danger can still find you. Nick, an explorer known for documenting his journeys through eerie, forgotten places, takes on one of his most unnerving adventures yet. During a camping trip with friends, he decides to explore a network of narrow underground caves hidden deep in the wilderness. At first, it seems like a fun challenge, but as the group descends deeper, the passageways tighten to the point where Nick has to remove his backpack just to squeeze through. His friends move ahead, their voices echoing faintly in the dark, until suddenly, they're gone. When Nick calls out, no one answers.
Ребят! Ребят!
The cave swallows his voice, and just like that, he's completely alone. With no other choice, he crawls forward on his stomach, the ceiling so low that clusters of sleeping bats hang just inches above his head. Every tiny sound bounces off the stone walls, amplified by the confined space. The deeper he goes, the stranger things become.
Плиты с дыркой. Ой, блядь, какая хуйня там. Ой, бля, я так испугался, ребята. Смотрите.
His camera starts glitching without reason, flickering as he films a small alcove in the wall, a spot that looks ordinary but clearly isn't. Moments later, as he climbs over a rocky ledge, pebbles begin falling from above, almost as if someone, or something, is throwing them down.
Сейчас вам ее покажу. Что с камерой? Как будто моторчик камеры завелся, начал. Вверх такой же гору надо подниматься. Ох. Ребят!
Then, his flashlight begins to fade. The darkness becomes absolute. A sudden, sharp noise cuts through the silence. Loud, close, and terrifying. Instinct takes over. Nick bolts forward, disoriented and unsure where he's running.
Я хочу сказать, что здесь тупик, и мне надо возвращаться быстрее назад.
The twisting tunnels turning into a maze of panic and confusion. Eventually, he gives up searching for his friends and decides to retrace his path toward the entrance. But when he finally reaches the spot where he left his backpack, something's off. The gear has been moved, rummaged through, as if someone else had been there.
Ой, все. Да ну подождите, ребята. Что за бред? Блин. Что за... Что за... Меня все вытащили из рюкзака. Вроде ничего не взяли. Ребят, здесь кто-нибудь есть, ребят?
Later, while reviewing his footage, Nick notices something chilling. Two faintly glowing eyes in the darkness behind him. Whether they belong to an animal, a reflection, or something far more disturbing, no one can say for sure. The footage raises more questions than answers. So, what do you think? Did Nick stumble upon something truly unexplained deep within those caves? Or was it all just a series of eerie coincidences amplified by the dark? From the YouTube channel Explore With Me, Marlo C. shares a story that begins like any other peaceful adventure, but ends in a way she'll never forget. Marlo is no stranger to solitude. An experienced outdoorswoman, she's known for venturing deep into the wilderness, exploring forgotten trails, and testing her camping gear far from civilization. But this particular trip broke that pattern. It was a gray, rain-soaked day when she set out on another solo camping journey. The forest was blanketed in fog, the steady drizzle softening every sound. It was quiet, almost too quiet. After a long hike, she found what seemed like the perfect clearing. Flat ground, tall trees surrounding her, and just enough open space for her tent.
Without any guy lines, so after we get it set up, we're gonna have to attach all the guy lines. This ought to be fun. It's not like a pouring thunderstorm rain like it was earlier, but it's still raining.
She set up camp, shaking the rain from her jacket, unaware that the peaceful day ahead was about to unravel.
I do have the tent up, and I'll turn this around and show you a little bit more detail, but it didn't come with guy lines. And since it's raining, I don't even know if I'm going to put them on or if it's needed right now. So I'm going to leave it without guy lines. And there's a reason for that. I was going to do it, but now I'm not going to because I want to make another video regarding guidelines. And it has something to do with my other tent, this tent, and we'll get into that in another video. But it's not really windy at all. It's just a light rain right at the moment. So.
As dusk settled, Marlo brewed a cup of tea and listened to the gentle tapping of rain against her tent. The forest felt still, alive in its own quiet rhythm. But when night came, the serenity changed.
I just want to say goodnight. It's coming up on 11 o'clock. As you can see, I have one mosquito flying around in this tent. I'm going to get him. So anyways, I am going to get some sleep, hopefully, as soon as I get this mosquito. I'll see you in the morning. Good night, guys. I thought I heard like footsteps or something. I've had an uneasy feeling all night. Hello? You ever get that uneasy feeling and you don't know why? I mean, I feel like I'm in like a safe area, but I don't know. I don't know, maybe we should just take a walk or something and check it out. I've never bailed on a camp. I mean, it's crossing my mind, but I've never bailed on a camp, whether it was a regular camp, a stealth camp, or a wild camp, so. Oh man, I don't feel like getting out. Let me get my boots on. Oops, I got on stroll. How the f get that off there? Jeez. Let's take a walk. Hello? You just ever get that feeling that you're being watched? And I don't mean by like, you know, animals or wildlife or anything like that, but you just get that eerie feeling. Yeah, well, that's the feeling I'm getting. And I could have sworn I heard, like, you know that when like a branch sort of breaks from like a footstep?
The mist thickened, the air grew dense, and the silence turned unnerving. No birds, no rustling, no distant sounds of life, just stillness. Then came the feeling, the unmistakable sensation of being watched. It crept in slowly, then consumed her thoughts entirely. Trusting her instincts, Marlo began to pack up her gear, her flashlight trembling slightly as she worked. Her breathing grew uneven. On camera, her voice shook as she explained that this was the first time she'd ever broken camp in the middle of the night. She mentioned hearing footsteps circling nearby, and seeing a pair of glowing eyes reflecting in the dark.
Especially a wet one. And, oh boy. Yeah, I don't know, you know. I've never bailed a camp. Sorry, I'm just like wiping my face. I've never bailed a camp, but I've just got that like negative energy feel or vibe or whatever it is, and I could have sworn I heard like a crunch of a footstep, or it's just eye shine from an animal right back there. Yeah. So. I wonder if you can almost hear my heartbeat. Listen. I don't know if you could even hear that. I don't know why I did that, but my heart is just beating out of my chest.
For someone as seasoned and composed as Marlowe, that fear spoke volumes. Whatever was out there, human or not, had frightened her enough to abandon her fire, her tent, and the safety of her plan. And that's what makes her story so haunting. Because in the wilderness, no matter how experienced you are, logic can fail you, but instinct, that primal whisper that tells you to run, might just save your life. Back in 2019, a group of 5 property flippers walked into what they thought was just another abandoned home in the Angora neighborhood of Southwest Philadelphia. At first, everything looked like the usual mess: peeling paint, collapsed floors, another forgotten property. But the mood shifted fast.
Yo,
look at this booby trap right here.
Look.
Look, the wire,
Look.
right, that goes up
Look at the nail
to a
over
knife
there.
system. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Dude, that'll
look what
fucking
is in
kill
there.
somebody,
Look
bro.
what is in there, the knife. Right
see
there,
that
right
shit?
there. You see the wire?
You don't see the knife up there?
Right here, you see this wire going over here.
Yeah, that's fucking scary.
It's going right to your heart.
It's on a fucking crutch with a knife. How'd you catch that?
I
I'm
don't
a bad
know how to
motherfucker, that's
see
how.
that. Yo, touch it. Let's see. Yo, cut it. You see that?
Look, come here,
You
Scott.
saw that, Scott? Come
Scott,
here.
look at here. See this string?
Oh, no, don't fucking move. That's a booby trap. See the
Scott,
broken
see this
glass?
string?
See, they put some the broken glass over here. You know, so when
See this string?
So who's videotaping it?
I am.
You ready?
Hold on.
See the string?
With this,
Yeah.
with this.
Now look up. Come over here. Let Scott see. Bring it in.
Hold on, hold on.
Let him see. That's for real.
That's fucking. This is
why is this glass right here?
This is homicide.
It's homicide.
Up here. Come here.
I see it, yep.
No, you don't see. Go to the other side.
No, I see it.
Yo,
I
look
see
at
it.
this wall. Look
It's
at
on
the
a fucking
knife.
crutch, dude.
One of the guys was heading toward the staircase when he froze, spotting something that made everyone's stomach drop. From their reactions on camera, it becomes clear they had uncovered what looked disturbingly like a homemade trap wired directly to the stairs. If any of them had kept climbing, their ordinary walkthrough could have ended in a nightmare. They examined it for a moment, trying to understand what they were looking at before finally deciding to trigger it from a safe distance.
Yeah. Hold on, you ready? Who's videotaping? Mary, you videotaping this shit?
Yeah. Hold on.
I'm getting far away from this thing.
Alright, Mary, you got it?
Yeah.
You sending this
I think you
motherfucker
should
to
do it
jail?
where you trip it. Stop at the
Yeah.
bottom of the step.
You think?
Yeah.
What is it?
At the step.
Oh!
Shit!
Shit.
Look at that fucking thing.
Yo, that would have
Look at
fucking straight
that.
up killed you right in your fucking head, dude.
What's this house? This house ain't fucking up.
Look at that.
That is insane.
Yo, coming right
bro.
to
Yo,
your
that
head.
thing's got bodies
Look
on
at this. Look at
it.
this.
Yo, that's right in your fucking
No,
head,
no,
bro.
no. Hold on. You need to stop more. You need to step off.
Yo, that would have got you right in your fucking neck.
Oh my God! Right in his head.
No, my
Yo,
heart.
you gotta
My
send
head.
this
Because,
video.
yo, by the time you're gonna be there, it's right
Hold on,
by
you
your
gotta
head.
watch walking up there, man. Yo,
Yeah.
rip that down. Ooh.
Yeah, how do you know he's not booby trapped again?
Right.
Yo, that's fucking scary, man.
And that's when things got truly terrifying. The wire snapped and a large knife swung downward, right at neck height. The idea that someone had intentionally built something like this inside a house, knowing it could kill whoever stepped onto those stairs, sent chills through the group. The trap was crude but deadly, rigged together using a rusty kitchen knife, duct tape, wire, and even an old crutch, yet the force behind it was enough to seriously injure, if not worse. During a later NBC interview, the investor who filmed the entire encounter said he stumbled into plenty of strange situations before: abandoned pets, squatters, drug materials, but he'd never experienced anything that came this close to ending his life. And unbelievably, after taking apart the trap, the group continued their walkthrough, finishing the inspection and eventually buying and renovating the property. Fortunately for them, that swinging blade was the only deadly secret waiting inside. Deep in the woods of Bear Creek, North Carolina, lies a place locals call Devil's Tramping Ground, a perfectly round clearing about 40 feet across where, for generations, nothing has grown. Surrounded by thick forest, the barren circle has puzzled both scientists and skeptics alike. Tests have been done on the soil, yet no one can explain why this small patch of earth refuses to sustain life. But local legend offers a darker answer. They say the ground is cursed, a place where the devil himself paces at night, wearing a path into the earth as he plots his next act of mischief. Visitors claim to hear faint, disembodied whispers drifting through the darkness, voices that seem to come from nowhere. Some who have dared to camp inside the circle report waking up miles away with no memory of how they got there. Others tell of shadowy figures watching from the tree line, always just out of reach and never daring to step inside the circle itself. Among those who've tested the legend is a YouTuber known as Kevin the Custodian Ghost Hunter. After 16 years of investigating haunted places without capturing anything truly unexplainable, he and his daughter Jade decided to visit Devil's Tramping Ground. What they recorded that night wasn't planned, and it wasn't something they noticed until later.
Get out here in a hurry.
As Kevin panned his camera across the clearing, something faint moved along the edge of the tree line. Subtle, but unmistakable. A shifting shape, almost human in outline.
Get out here in a hurry.
When they later reviewed the footage, there were no signs of editing, no glitches, nothing that hinted at manipulation. Whatever it was there. Some say it could have been mist or fog catching the light, but it didn't move like fog, it moved with intent. So, what did Kevin and Jade really capture that night? Was it something paranormal lurking just beyond the cursed circle? Or simply a trick of light in a place where legends never die? One thing's for certain. Sometimes it's not what you see in places like this that haunts you. It's what's watching, unseen, from the darkness just beyond.